So my guest today is Simon Cook. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the DFJ Spirit. So Simon, you are welcome to the Digital October.
Thank you, Anna.
My first question, how did you earn your first money?
My first money I made with my first company, which I started at university when I was 18. I won't say how many years ago, a long time ago, but I wrote computer games and sold them and made some money that way. And I did that when I was at university.
But it wasn't the real money with the company, as you can see, it was a business.
Yeah, it's a business, yes.
Okay, now the DFJ Spirit believes that good venture capital begins with a good relationships with all the partners. So tell us how to build the strong relationships with the largest venture capital fund like Draper Fisher.
Sure.
It's a really big fund and famous worldwide.
Sure.
What is your advice?
Well, I think the most important thing we recognize is that venture capital is a people business. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the business plan. It's about having the same vision as the entrepreneur. And so we believe our job is to help the entrepreneur achieve that vision and to free up, take away as many problems as they may face and help them to tackle the market, to raise capital, to form relationships with strategic partners. So, and all of those are people skills. It's not about whether we can operate a spreadsheet or we're not. It's not about the numbers in a business plan. I don't think any business we've ever invested in actually met the business plan perfectly. They always go in different directions. Sometimes faster, sometimes slower.
So you've mentioned the business plan, and I remember the word of Stephen Blank, the author of the bestseller 4 Steps to the Epiphany, and he always say that no business plan survives.
Exactly.
Go outside of the building and talk with your customers. So how do you think are the business plans? It's a waste of time.
It's a very good question. I think the thing about a vision, a business plan, it should capture a vision and it should capture the market opportunity. So it needs to sort of point out that the opportunity needs to be very big. Venture capital is a risky business, and not every company succeeds. And the ones that succeed are worth huge amounts of money because they are winners in big markets. So we need to understand how big the opportunity is, and we need to understand the vision. Obviously, we invest a certain amount of money, and we need to know how the money is going to be spent to make sure there's enough money. Because one of the worst things you can do is not invest enough. And I think in some parts of the world, the danger is lots of people start lots of little companies, but they don't write big enough checks so that the company can go and compete. And we live in a very small world today where Russian companies are competing with German companies, with Silicon Valley companies, with Chinese companies, all for the same market. So you really need to know how to think big and to raise the right amount of money.
And you should think big from the start, from
Indeed.
the beginning. So prior to venture capital, you worked as a computer game developer.
Sure.
Do you see any inside trends in social gaming right now? I mean, maybe some intersections between the social gaming and e-commerce?
Very much so. I mean, gaming is an activity that many people played. When I was writing computer games a long time ago, they were very family activities and everybody played. And then the consoles kind of went very sort of specific in a certain direction. And now social gaming has made it much wider. So all kinds of people, women, children, old, young, play. So it's made gaming a much more accessible media opportunity, and that's made the market grow many times. So it's a very exciting investment area. People like to buy virtual goods, and the link between virtual goods and real goods is ever growing. And of course, with social gaming, you don't have retailers in the way, so you can have direct customer relationships, and those can be very lucrative. So there's a lot of synergy between e-commerce and social gaming.
Mm-hmm. Can you give an advice for young entrepreneurs? So when it's a really good time and when it's a really good idea to raise a seed money from the large VC?
So I think the most important thing I can say is when you raise money, you're going to give a percentage of your company away. And the most important thing you can do is make sure you raise enough to get to the next important milestone in the business. If you raise seed amount of money, make sure you raise enough so you can do something with it. If you only raise a little bit of money and don't really transform your business, the valuation isn't going to be different and you're going to suffer more dilution. So money is always good to raise, but make sure you raise the right amount, and that should always be as much as you can at any particular time.
Mm-hmm. And what are the best ways to get access to the venture capitalists? To the right venture capitals that you really need?
This is it's a relationship business. So when we invest with people, we want to know that we can work with them, and we do that by through networks. So the best thing we can do is to find one of our portfolio companies or somebody else that's worked with us, find somebody that knows us, and get to know us that way. But we're also very open. As DFJ, we have, I think, I've lost track of the numbers, but tens of thousands of businesses a year approach us, and we look at every single one. We don't meet with everyone, obviously, but sometimes the best ideas can be a young entrepreneur who doesn't know anybody, and so we will always meet people if they send us an email and we like what they're doing.
So they just can do it by email also.
Today, networks are online. So in the old days, it used to be people networks, but now with Facebook and LinkedIn and all the other social networks, I think VCs also have to be networked online and have to react to the inbound interest.
And this video you also will see on the web. So
Okay.
It was a short talk with Simon Cook. Thank you very much.
Thank you.